As you can probably tell by the title of this video, today I'm going to be talking about the worst and scariest paranormal experience that I've ever had. It was actually pretty recent and it's been on my mind lately, so I'm just going to talk about it. Okay, so a few weeks ago, I was spending the weekend at my grandparents' house, and my grandma has this bathroom upstairs in her house that has 3 doors because one door leads from her bedroom to the bathroom, one door leads from the hallway to the bathroom, and then there's a little closet in there. So it was a Sunday, and I had just woken up and I was going to the bathroom first thing in the morning, and when I was in the bathroom, I heard just like 2 quick claps like that, and it sounded as if it was coming from like the closet door was like right in front of me, and so I didn't really think anything of it. I just kind of smiled to myself because I thought it was really weird, and I was like, whoa. It didn't bother me, I just went on with my day. But then way later on, like hours and hours later, I went into the same bathroom. When I was in the bathroom, I heard the same exact thing again, just 2 claps. So it was then that I started to think, yeah, that's pretty weird, but I just let it go, and I went back to my house. The next day was a Monday. I was at my friend Autumn's house. She lives like 2 houses down from me. We were just kind of hanging out. We were watching TV together. Her door was shut. It was completely shut, like all the way. Like, you would have to turn the doorknob to open it, and it had just swung open. And it swung open so fast and so hard that it hit the wall behind it. And so we both kind of jumped up and went to look to see who was like bursting into her room so angrily, and neither of her parents were home. Her 2 siblings, who were like way younger, were just kind of playing in the living room on the other side of the house. None of her cats were around, her dog wasn't around. So it was just really weird. Since something unexplained happened for a 2nd day in a row, I told her about the clapping. It happened the day before, and she was kind of like, whoa, like, that's weird. But again, we just kind of let it go because really, what are you going to do about it? We weren't feeling scared. We were just kind of like, that's weird. So then the next day, it's Tuesday, me, Autumn, our friend Maddie, and Autumn's mom, Sarah, were all going to Taco Bell together. So it's about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night when we were coming home from Taco Bell. We had dropped off Maddie at her house. Now they were dropping me off at my house. Coming up my driveway, looking at my house, kind of like the first thing you see are the 2 windows of my garage. Autumn and I were just talking, you know, whatever. We didn't see this. Sarah, Autumn's mom, started freaking out, and we were like, whoa, what the hell? Like, what did you see? Tell us, tell us. She had said, very seriously, I just saw the lights in your garage go on, and I saw, like, a head, like someone popping up their head in the window, and then the lights went out. And the window she was talking about was the far window, where the huge garage door is that opens up into my driveway. So Autumn and I just were like, whoa. Now it's 3 days in a row that this has happened. So it was then that we started to freak the fuck out. So eventually I got up the courage to get out of the car into the dark and go into my house. Autumn and Sarah had come in with me. My mom was home, so we had asked her if she was just in the garage or anything. And this is what scared us even more. She said yes, she had just been in the garage, and she stepped in to grab something off of her desk. So she has this desk downstairs in the garage, and it's right by the small door that you would go through if you were in my house. That's at the opposite end of the garage, and Sarah saw someone in the other window. So the lights going on and off was explained, but the fact that when my mom was in there, Sarah saw someone or something in the way opposite window very far away from where my mom was kind of like creeped us out. So eventually Autumn and Sarah had went back home, and I just went into my room. I was literally like shaking, and I just knew that something wasn't right, and I couldn't fall asleep, and I was very, very scared. I felt like I was gonna throw up. And then it got even worse. Sarah calls me. She's like screaming at me over the phone like, what the fuck, Melissa? Ah! And like Autumn's in the background being all nervous. Now, Autumn's dad gets on the phone. His name is Corey, and he doesn't fuck around. He's had paranormal experiences before, but he's like a very serious guy. When he gets nervous, he laughs. He just gets on the phone, and he's like, dude, you're fucked. And he just kept saying to me, you're fucked, you're fucked, you're fucked. And I'm like, I am fucked. Like, wow, if he's telling me this, I really know this is not okay. So then Sarah and Autumn come back to my house. It's like 10:30 at night now. We needed to figure out what we were going to do. We're all sitting in my living room, like, screaming at each other because we're all just scared. We had eventually figured that the next day we should go to church and, like, bless ourselves with holy water. We were desperate, and the presence of religious icons drives spirits away, so that was all we could really think of, realistically. But then Sarah was like, "Oh, Melissa, why don't you read us? Why don't you read our tarot cards?" Because I can read tarot cards, obviously. That would be like a very good outlet to see what's really going on and what it really means. Got my cards and I lit my candles and I read Autumn, Sarah, and myself. I won't go into depth about it, but generally it had shown positivity and light for all three of us except Sarah, who had drawn a few negative cards that were showing confusion and fear. So yeah, then Autumn and Sarah went back to their house, and I was still feeling pretty uneasy. I had contacted my friend Sierra because at the time she knew a lot more than I did about how to deal with it. So Sierra, being her wonderful self, had brought me some sage and amethyst the next day. So I burned the sage in my room and all around my house, and kept the amethyst in my room for protection. And I felt so much safer. It stopped happening each day. A few things have happened since then, but nothing that's truly scared me. So everything's okay now. But yeah, those 3 days were definitely the worst paranormal experiences I have literally ever had. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions or want to share your paranormal experiences, leave them below. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye bye!